Today I will going to discuss the hexagons in nature. What is hexagon? Types of hexagon, properties of hexagons, and the examples of hexagon. What is hexagon? Hexagon in geometry. A hexagon can be defined as the polygon with 6 sides, the two-dimensional shape, 6 sides, 6 vertices, and the 6 angles. If you have wandered around in the nature, you may notice that many geometric shapes there in the world that have no design from human. Take a snail, spirals, or starfish. Bodies or symmetry in the flowers and petals. All those nature things are out their own existing in mathematical perfections. Hexagon in particular are the often seen in nature. But what makes hexagon so special? Well, as it turns out it's all about a map. A hexagon is a shape that best fills in a plane with an equal size units of leaves no wasted space. Hexagonal packing also minimize the perimeter for a given area because of its 120-degree angles. With this structure, the pull of surface tension in each direction is most mechanically stable, which is why even thought bees makes their honeycombs with circular units. The end result when the wax hardens into place is hexagonal. Of hexagon, there are two types of hexagon, that regular hexagon and irregular hexagon. In regular hexagon, a hexagon said to be irregular if its sides are equal in length. In regular hexagon, a hexagon that not consists equal length sides is known as irregular hexagon. These are the two types of hexagon. The image. There are 4 properties of hexagon. Number 1, all the interior angles measures 120 degrees. Number 2, the sum of all the interior angles of a regular hexagon is equal to 720 degrees. Number 3, a regular hexagon can be split into 6 equilateral triangles that are congruent in nature. Number 4, regular hexagon of equal magnitude can fit each other without any gaps, such as formation is known as tessellations. Examples of hexagon. Number 1, honeycomb. One of the most common and naturally occurring examples of a hexagon is a honeycomb. The 6 sides, the 6 vertices, and 6 angles of each cell of a honeycomb makes it perfect example of a hexagon. These are the image of the honeycomb. Second example are the snowflakes. A snowflake is a hexagonal crystalline form of the ice. A snowflake consists 6 sides, 6-fold symmetry. Hence is the one of the best example of the hexagonal object present around us. These are the image of the snowflakes. That ends of my discussion, and the following are the answers of my members.
The math concept that is fully discussed to us is about pattern or shapes. This concept is about hexagonal patterns. The perfect example for this is the circle because it is the closest shape that can form a hexagonal pattern. Like for example, the beehive. At first, I think that the beehive was made it by the bees to a hexagonal form, but the truth is, it is from a circle that's slowly forming into a hexagonal pattern. Their explanation of this is because of the 120-degree angle that is a perfectly balanced angle of all shape or patterns. Like what I said from earlier, the circle was the perfect shape. Two can made hexagonal patterns because if the object with a shape of circle, if that object collide after how many days or weeks or years, it will form a hexagonal patterns like the beehive. My insight about this is the hexagonal pattern is the most closest patterns of all things on the surroundings. For me, this is the most centered pattern of all patterns that we see on anywhere in the planet. Thank you.
What math concept is fully discussed on your assigned video. It's all about hexagon and its angle. What is about this concept? Cite few more real wood case or examples that would show the concept. If you want to pick together cells that they are identical in shape and size so that they fill of a flat plane. Only three regular shapes with all sides and angles identical will work. Equilateral triangles, squares, and hexagons of this hexagonal cell require the less total length of wall compared with triangles or squares of the same area. What are your insights about these mathematical truths or sentences? Well, it turns out that nature love hexagon because a hexagon is a shape that best fills a plane with equal size units and leaves. No wasted space. Hexagonal packing also minimizes the perimeter for a given area because of its iso-degree angles. With this structure, the pool of surface tensions in each direction is most mechanically stable, which is why even though bees make their honey combo with circular units, the end result when the wax hardens into place is hexagonal.
Good day, sir. My name is Johnny Mark Mistula. So, this time I'm going to answer the question that you given to us. And also the video that entitled Hexagonal in Nature. So, the question first is what math is fully discussed on the video that you sent us. So for me, it is a geometry in nature, which every organism represents tessellation that has hexagonal pattern. It is a pattern which has the same size or every angle or even not, but represent as a geometry, which has a scale or shape that triangle, square or pentagon, hexagon or even a circle. So the second is, what is about this concept? Cite few more real-world cases or even example that shown the concept. So the concept has fully discussed the pattern and shape of nature. So example, in a landform that form into hexagonal, which is formed by the volcano during the eruption, which is clay. It is soft, loose, earthy material. It is containing particles. It is heated repeatedly, it will harden, and because of its heat, it forms hexagonal pattern. It will crack. The third is, what is your insight about these mathematical truths and certainties? So for me, every organism that found in the universe or even surrounding you in a nature that has represented as geometrical pattern and shapes. Math is anywhere and everywhere. So when you are found it is a nature geometrical pattern. Thank you, sir, and God bless.
So, mag-discuss ko sa akong nasabtan about sa video nga gi-assign sa moa. What math concept is katong tulo ka question nga basihan na mo para maka-answer me. So, una katong what math concept is fully discussed on your assigned video. Kwanto, it's all about hexagon because we always mong kwanto sa pamunto about sa nang why nature love hexagon because we always encounter this shape every day na wala ta nakabantay. So sunod nga question is what is about this corner site few more real world case of hexagon that would show the concept. Example kanang balay sa bubuyog, eyes kanang mata sa insect, kanang nut, kanang bolt, o ng mga hexagon shape. Mga example na permintera na itong makitaan. What are your insight about this mathematical truth or certain? So the hexagon is important because the hexagon is the shape that base fills up plane with equal size unit and leaves no waste space. Hexagon packing also minimize the perimeter for a given area because of its 120 degrees angles, and also hexagon is close to the shape that is made up of straight lines. It is a two diagonal shape with size 6 big vertex, big ties nito. Basta 6 big ties and 6 edge. That the name hexagon is divided into two. The first one is hex, which means 6, and the name and gonea, which means corner. Kung i-combine mo 6 corners, so mao nang hexagon nga naay 6 corners. Tapos mao ra to siya. At least naabot og 2 minutes, no?
What math concept is fully discussed to your assigned video? The math concept that is fully discussed to our assigned video is all about hexagon of nature. What is about this concept? The concept of hexagon in nature is a geometric shape found in nature to which esoteric power has been ascribed. Hexagon in particular are often seen in nature. Hive are common examples, but definitely not the only. Example of the hexagon are hexagon floor tiles, pencil, clock, honey bombs, etc. What are your insight about this mathematical truth or sentence? Something that will definitely happen. Truth. The kind of truth you can get in a math is a rather low level of truth. To logical truth, to whatever extent we're able to put truth in the beginning. Math allow one to derive consistent.
The video obviously discussed how nature become our universal language through fusing the six-sided shape, or shall we say the hexagon. It discussed the factors or the things that explains how that certain thing happened. From the title itself, why nature loves hexagon. It was discussed that there are things or occurrence of some things that ended up into hexagon, which explains why nature loves hexagon. For example, as you observe during summer or having a too much heat in our specific place, the land, or shall we say loam, and our farm becomes so dry and rough and ended up into breaking to looms, and the shape is usually six-sided or hexagon.
I believe that everything that happened has an explanation, either scientifically or biblically point of view. But with this topic, I am still confused or uncertain about topic being discussed in the video. Yes, I do understand the reasons and explanations they present, and somehow it made me think and doubt my beliefs back then. It was so amazing how they explained and explored mathematics and ended up into that conclusion, which is very convincing and of course enlightening you.
Hi, my name is Edward G. Morcilia. I'm from Section November. Guide question number 1. What math concept is fully discussed on your assigned video? Answer number 1. The concept of what fully I saw in this video assigned, it was all about the importance of Fibonacci sequence and golden ratio in a musical industry. The blogger shows that the value and role of Fibonacci using golden ratio in composing a music in terms of rhythm, tempo, and melodies will be involved in order to sequencing notes in the stuff. Guide question number 2. What is about this concept? Cite few more real-world case or example that would show the concept. Answer. The concept is all about the music using the mathematical views, and that view could used by some epic and famous musicians in past and also the modern musicians to compose a harmonious sound produced by singer or musical instruments. The video cited by the bloggers to regarded as an indicator of the relative influence or importance of Fibonacci sequence and golden ratio in a real world. Example of this is the connection of physical appearance of a flower to the nature being natural attractive to the bees, that the way of survival instinct of the plants. Guide question number 3. What are your insights about these mathematical truths or certainties? Answer. My insight about these mathematical truths is what the essence and what the importance of Fibonacci sequence in our daily lives, and why we are going to study these mathematical views. In my opinion, this will be the one who can help to develop our skills and more knowledge about mathematics. In my certainty, this lesson will be useful to construct a mathematical in our perspective about the universe, environment, society, and other field of works. And of these things will be created to our Almighty God by using the knowledge of mathematician people, and it could be developed time pass and we can use it until now.
What math concept is fully discussed on your assigned video? Answer. It is all about hexagon shape that nature seems to have particular thing to do number of 6, like bees, rocks, marine skeleton, and 6 eyes. It could be mathematical coincidence, or could there be some pattern? What is about this concept? Cite few more real-world cases or example that would show the concept. Answer. This concept representing a hexagon shape like bees, rocks, marine skeleton, insect eyes, and in the real-world cases, the bubble is the right example showing hexagon shape because a bubble is some volume of gas that's surrounded by liquid or like a lot of liquid. This liquid is to adapt to its surface of shape, and gas his attraction is to balance. If bubble close to each other, it represents hexagon shape. What are your insight about these mathematical truths or certainties? The truth and certainties is that hexagon is have many shapes of this world. The hexagon is all over the world, even or wherever you were looking, you seen hexagon shape. That's why nature love hexagon.
What are your insights about these mathematical truths or certainties? Certainty profoundly shapes our behavior. The more certain we are of a belief, regardless of its object correctness, the more durable it will be and the greater its influence on what we do. But their behavior often depends in on their state opinion than on how firmly they hold it.
Hi, I'm Axel Rose Ipipino, and I'm going to answer the three following questions. The first one is, what math concept is fully discussed on your assigned video? The concept that fully discussed on our assigned video are the pattern in geometry and the hexagon is everywhere in the nature. What is about this concept? Cite few more real-world cases or examples that would show the concept. The concept discussed some liquid molecules when the attraction is balanced. Example, honeycomb. One of the most common and naturally occurring example of a hexagon is honeycomb. The third and last one is, what are your insights about these mathematical truths or certainties? My insight is that the hexagon is the most common shape you'll find in nature, and the one that most astounds mathematicians is the hexagon. The six-sided are everywhere. Beehives, insects, ice, and snowflakes are all made up of hexagon. That's all. Thank you.